Hi everyone, and welcome to Vacation Junkie Mama. Today we are doing our very first video for our new YouTube channel. The blog that I have, called, of course, Vacation Junkie Mama, it covers a lot of vacation tips and information on planning and getting the best discounts, reviews, that type of thing. But I wanted a channel that I could do demonstrations on, some cooking videos, lots of different things that'll be hopefully interesting to you. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Jamie. I am the Vacation Junkie Mama. A quick description of why I call myself Vacation Junkie Mama, and that's because not only do I love taking vacations with my husband and 2 sons, I absolutely am obsessed with planning them. Not only do I like planning them, I like to do things when I get back with the souvenirs. Because face it, you buy it, you stick it in a drawer somewhere, and you never see it again. You wasted some money, you might dig it out once every 10 years and go, oh, I remember that. So this is a way that I can show you how I deal with souvenir issues at my house. So let's get started. I am a little nervous because this is my first video, so please look over that. It'll get better, I promise. Okay, before you see a lot of pins and some cases here like this one. What are the pins for? Well, for anyone who's ever been to Walt Disney World or even Universal Studios, you'll notice that you can buy these little pins almost everywhere. They come in all different shapes, sizes, and price points. This one from Walt Disney World, it's one of it says Disney Parks Collection, so I'm assuming that it's more expensive than the others. But even then, it's not that expensive. This one, I thought had a price on it, but it doesn't. We actually got this one for our last trip, and it's got a blue tag on it. And I will link out to you the DisneyPins.com website, and they explain the value of the pins there. But most of the pins that you buy are anywhere from $12.99 and under, for the most part. Some pins can be a little more expensive depending on the complexity of them, or the rarity if you're buying them online. Like I bought all these pins, most of them, in a set, well, not even a set, just a box of assorted pins off of eBay. I took them to Disney, and these are the leftovers. And what happens is you wear them on a lanyard, like this one. This one was for Universal. And at Walt Disney World, you go up to any CM that's a cast member. That's what they call them at Walt Disney World. The cast members, and they'll be wearing lanyards like this, and you can trade any of the pins with them. So if you see a pin you like, you say, hey, can I trade pins with you? They mostly will have a color coding on them, so they may only trade with children, some of them, but some will trade with everyone. And if you're not sure, just ask them. They're very nice and they'll explain it to you. If you see a pin you like, you pick it out, and then you give them one of the pins you want. If you're trading with an individual, you ask if you can trade with them, and you let them choose a pin off of your lanyard if they want to trade. So don't wear any pins that you don't want to trade. Or if you don't want to trade at all, then state, I don't trade. I don't normally trade unless it's like a cast member. Then I will trade with them if I see something I really like. I just like to collect them. When you're displaying your pins, you can put them in one of these. These are just carry cases, and they have pouches that you can put your extras in, your extra pin backs, and they'll keep them safe and they won't get damaged. They can be very heavy when you get a lot on here. This one pin here, and I'm going to bring this up to the camera a little bit, I purchased online as soon as it became available. The inside, the little bubble, is an actual piece to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. When they redid some of the items, they take one of the animatronics and they'll cut it up in little tiny pieces and put them inside the bubbles for the ride, for the pin, and then you can actually have a piece of the ride. I did it with the Pirates of the Caribbean, and I also found one for, where is it? I gave these to my son, so I'm not sure where he put the pin. Or maybe I kept the one. There was one from the Wizard of Oz. This is my set of collector pins that I have. And these are ones that I like, and I've just not displayed them yet. I keep them in here. And I'm not finding the particular one that I'm looking for. But it does have a little piece of the Green Witch in it. And if I'll have to ask my son where that went. Because now I'm curious, where is the pin? because they only have so many of them, of course, because once they sell out all the pieces of it, they're all gone. The pins will have, some pins have the dates on them, and they're just different characters and different reasons you may want to collect something. Like we stayed at the Polynesian Resort, I got a pin from the Polynesian. Our first visit to Walt Disney World, we ate at the Crystal Palace, and one of the Sams came out and noticed that I was wearing a Tinkerbell shirt. And I explained I just really love Tinkerbell. She came back out later with a pin like this. There were 2 of them. She said 1 to give and 1 to keep. I kept 1, and I'm still looking for someone to give my extra pin to. Actually, my other son received, everyone at the table except my husband who didn't want one, got a pack. And we all gave away all the extras except for this one. And I'm still thinking about what to do with this one. So maybe I'll do a giveaway and someone who wants it can get this one. So that's one way to do your pins. You take the case, you go to trading events, and you can trade pins with other individuals. You can keep them for yourself, or you can make a display box. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me clear this out of the way. All these extra pins. And just because these are loose like this doesn't mean they're not good pins. I just use these for trading ones because they're not particularly ones that I want to keep. If I do find one, I think there may be 1 or 2 in here that shouldn't be actually in the set. They were just put in there from our last trip. I hadn't had time to put them away yet. It was only in 2000, what? 11? 2010? 11. No, we went to Christmas 2011. That was our last trip. I think I need to get busy with my stuff. So we're going to move these to the side. And what you're going to need for this project will be a glue stick, measuring tape or a ruler. You'll also need a selection of pins, of course. And we've already shown you those, so let's put a few out here for that purpose. There we go. You will also need cardstock paper or scrapbook paper. They're both sold in the same area. You can choose any color that hits you to be your favorite. This is where your creativity comes into play. This here, I bought this whole set here, and it has a lot of different textures and colors in it. But when you do this display, this will be your background. You don't want this to overshadow the pin collection. So you be careful choosing your background. This is not too bad. It's not really busy, and it's almost like a solid color. I think these are really pretty. And like I said, you could use any one of these. I would not use anything with a big print or that's really busy, because then you're going to distract from the pins. I used a solid background paper for mine, this brand here, and I used a lighter color. It was like a cream color, so that I could, let me take it out of here because I want to show you what I did with it. It just felt like I was able to display my pins without distracting from the colors, because my collection has many colors with it. I did this display in 2008 for my first trip. So I don't currently have a frame that is not in use for it. So I'm going to show you my deconstructed set. You will also need, depending on the paper, if your paper has a design like I just showed you, it's perfect to go the way it is. If you're using a plain paper like I went with, I took and embossed it. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's just embossed. Let me back away, maybe that'll work. If it doesn't show up here, I'll get a picture and I will put that into the video so you can see it better. But I made the embossing with a simple embossing stencil like this. And you can buy little tools that come with it to make the embossing easier. And apparently I left mine in the other room, but that's okay. I'm just going to give you the general idea of what to do with it anyway. You might be able to see a little better on this one. I don't know if you can see how the embossing goes. Hold on 1 second. I think I can show you. Let me find a pencil. Since this is white, I'm just going to color over it like this, so maybe it will show up and you'll be able to see the embossed area, maybe. There it is, it's coming through. but it's, maybe you can see the embossed spot now. I went all the way around the edges of my paper. The paper I'm using, again, this is where, again, your creativity is going to come into play. When you choose your shadow box or your display box, the size and shape of it is completely up to you. For me, I chose one that would hold a 12 by 12 page. And I laid out all my pins according to that size. So around the edge of that, leaving room for the edge of the frame, I embossed a little design all the way around. So it wouldn't be quite plain, but it wouldn't be enough to distract from the design or the pins. And it was really easy to use. You can take, I didn't buy the little tray that you use with these. I just taped this to the countertop, slid my paper in, take the edge back down, and did my embossing. It was really easy to do. It was not a big deal, because all I had to do was line up the page with this, and it was already ready for me to go, because it has the full design all the way around the edge of it. So it was really easy to do. And like I said, if you do a paper that's got designs already on it, you don't even need to do this step. You can skip it. This is what the finished product looked like. Another thing you're going to do is lay out your pins before you do anything else. After you get your design, you're going to decide where you want your pin layout to be. Let me work this so you can see. And it can be any arrangement that you want. You can put your favorite pin in the middle and do a design around it to display. You may even have a set of pins that you like, that you've collected an entire set. Like these are a set. They come with all the villains in it. And they have a hidden Mickey. People love the hidden Mickey pins. So you might have this whole set and just want to display those, because you have no plans whatsoever to change them out. This here is from a different set with a hidden Mickey on it. Each one comes with different sets. What I did with mine, I took my favorite pins from our first visit, and I used those to display in the box. After you've laid them out, you're going to want to mark them with a pencil, by the way, so you know where you want them to be. And you'll carefully take the back off. And once you have this adhered, you want to glue this paper, because it's not strong enough to support, with a glue stick. And I would use the cardboard backer that comes with the frame. That's what I did. If you don't have it, then you can find a thin piece of cardboard in the size of the frame or paper. Glue it down to the cardboard so you get the extra stability to hold it, because that's not going to hold a bunch of pins, because these are heavy. After you've got that on there, then mark the pin position, push it through. It's easy to push through. Where's my one that I took off? Oh, here it is. Wow, really? You just take and punch your hole, and it'll go right through the cardboard as well. It's no big deal with it. That's why you just want to mark the dot and carefully push it in. Ta-da! Real easy. And put the back and backer on here. And there you go. Again, you would glue this down first so that it's stable and doesn't shift on you and get crooked or anything. Then put all your pins in place. Real simple, right? Not a big job at all. For me, I ended up with this when I finished. I have my border going all the way around that I embossed. I took the, when you buy a lanyard, some of them come with a hanging device or hanger on the end of them. The one from Universal and a lot of them from Disney actually come with like a plastic thing on the end of it. And certain pin sets that you buy will come with one of these in it, and you put that on the end of your lanyard. That's what I did when we were in the park. Once I got home, I took and put it on this. It's not a pin though. So I took a piece of copper wire, punched it through where I wanted it to be, and just twisted it closed. You can see the back of this has all my pins pushed all the way through. This was taped with something on the box when I bought it, so nobody sees the back anyway. It doesn't matter. So here I have my favorite pins. Each one of these, I can remember where we were when we got them, what was going on, and why I took either traded or purchased a pin. Again, I love Tinkerbell. This comes with a little box, a little ball of pixie dust. I thought it was really cute. My husband, we refer to him as Mr. Incredible. The reason for that is during the previews of Mr. Incredible, or The Incredibles, they show Mr. Incredible trying to get back into his incredible uniform, and he can't quite get in it without sucking in really big. And my husband, who was in the Marine Corps, has that issue. He could not get back in his uniform now if he tried, and we just laughed, and we always call him our Mr. Incredible for more than one reason, but that was just so funny when we saw that even he called himself that. But we call him Mr. Incredible for him because he's incredible. So this one, I love Flower the Little Skunk. And we went and saw It's Tough to Be a Bug. It was really funny. I love the fireworks. And I saw this, and I can spin it around and see the different fireworks behind the castle. I happened to walk up to one, I keep wanting to call them Sam's, but some people won't understand what that is, but cast member, and she was wearing a Mickey Mouse Tennessee pin. They have one for all the states, and it was so funny. I didn't see any other state pins there except for that one. I did trade with it as soon as I saw her, because we are from Tennessee. Different rides we rode that day that we really loved, or that visit, and of course, yes, Tinkerbell. Pooh Bear was our favorite when the kids were growing up. I still love Pooh Bear. And my husband's name is Woody. So we have Woody pins, Cars, another favorite. The first drive-in movie my kids ever got to go to was Cars. So I wanted to commemorate that one. Again, Cinderella's Castle. We went the year of A Million Dreams for 2008. Spaceship Earth. Of course, the Princess Carriage. Different pins for different reasons, and this is the one pin that I kept of the set that I was given at the Crystal Palace. So you can see each one of these holds a memory for me, and I know what they're for. And knowing that, that makes this display special for me. It's not just a bunch of pins in a box. It's not pins thrown in a closet in a box. It's not pins left in a zippered case. This is where I can see it whenever I want to look up, and I can have great memories. The display box that I chose looks like this, and it's really easy. I've already taken it apart because I had this on the wall. You're going to also need for this project, if your frame does not come with any hardware, you're going to need, this is called a, and I want to make sure I'm calling it the correct thing, and it's actually called, besides the little thing we did to hang on the frame, it's actually called a, I got it right here, sawtooth hanger, because it's got the ridges. I wanted to call it alligator for some reason, but it's a sawtooth hanger, and you see it's got the little ridges on it. You're going to want to make sure you get that put on level, and that's where the ruler comes into play, or a level if you have one to make it easier. You're also going to need these little hooks, and these hooks are called, you can buy these little kits, wall hanging kits, picture frame kits, really cheaply in either hardware departments, like Walmart or Target, or in your craft stores over where they have the picture frames or art section. And they're really easy to use. And these little hooks here are what you would use. They call them, and again, I'm trying to read, screw eyes. I don't know why they call them that, but that's just the name of them. They got a little hole. Well, because they got an eye, I guess. These come in different sizes. These here on the frame are actually a little bit larger, and you're going to need some wire, like you see here. And again, these come in the kits, so it's not something you're going to have to search very hard to get. And I also have these polyurethane little rubber bumper things here. Polyurethane bumpers, adhesive. You just peel the sticker off the back of it, put it on the bottom corners of your frame. Not only are they going to keep it from marking the wall, they're also going to help keep the frame level. Because once you put your wire hanger on there, it's going to kind of tilt in a little bit. And this will help keep it level on the wall. The easiest way to put these in, even though they have a little point, you may want to start the hole with a little drill. Or keep trying, you can actually screw it in. Because the wood on these frames are really soft. So, and if you're using like a solid oak frame or something, you might have a little more trouble. And you actually should put these on before you put the wire through. I unscrewed that so I could show you guys. But let's go ahead and unwind it so I can put it back on easier. I was so excited to get this video up once I decided to do this one that I don't think I planned it out well. Don't worry, I'll get better at this. That's something I've normally done in the past. But you want to measure enough wire to go not only across the frame, but when you have it in place, you want it to come up to like the top edge here so it hangs down nicely. I don't want it, for me, I didn't want it to tilt too much. If you make it shorter, the shorter it is, the more it's going to tilt. So I brought it up level here, and then you will, after you've inserted the eye about 1/3 of the way down the frame on both sides, you'll put these, you screw them in place. And it's really easy. There we go. Just run the wire through. When you cut it after you measure, you want to make sure you leave enough so you can attach it to the screw or the eye. And I just wrap it around itself. I probably could have trimmed a little more off of this, but I'm trying to remember if I actually put this one on or my husband did. Either way, it's really simple. Anybody can do it. So there you have your frame ready to hang. I put this on here and was going to hang it with just this. So you do have an option to go with this hanger or the wire. This is going to put it closer to the wall, and this could have a chance of marking the wall more. But it's your prerogative there. I wanted to show you both ways that you could hang it up, so either with this or this. I chose the wire because I like the way it hangs better. But if you don't want to deal with measuring down and putting the wire, you can just put one item in and you're good to go. Put your your paper with your pins ready and cardboard in. And you don't want to force anything in there, push hard, because a pin might be pushed against the glass and it could break it, depending on how the depth of the pin. Like this one here, it's not all the way down. So don't fasten anything without checking first to make sure everything is laying the way you want it to inside the frame. And the best thing about having the backs displayed this way, you can actually adjust the pin. So if it's in there a little crooked, you can adjust it without taking everything apart. And then you're just going to push the tabs down all the way around so nothing falls out. And ta-da! I can now display, oh, that's got some glare. You can now display your pins for everyone to see. But again, that's a lot of glare on it, so, oh, there we go. That's good. It's so simple. And when I actually had seen someone displaying something similar to this when we were at Disney at they had a trading fair at Downtown Disney the year we went. And it was near the Pin Traders store. And there were people with tables lined up. They may do it every weekend. You can find out more at the link below on that. And it's just for Walt Disney World. And someone had a display like this. I don't know if they were selling the entire display or they were just showing off their pins. Because I didn't bother to ask because I already had pins that I wanted. And I didn't want to buy somebody else's collection. But this is a good idea to display all those pins if you're a collector. Or if you don't know what you want to get for souvenirs when you go to a place like Walt Disney World. I mean, let's face it, it's expensive to go there. And you want to be able to commemorate that, especially on your first trip. An inexpensive way are by doing these pins. You don't have to have as many pins as I have displayed. You can have a small box and have just a few that you really love, like one with a year on it, like this one here. Or like, let's see. I had a small one in here with a year. This one here. That's 2008. I know what year I went. Pick out a few of your very favorites that really mean something to you. Like maybe the first pin you trade or the first pin your child saw and just had to have their favorite character. You can put that in there. Any pin that means something to you can be displayed and put up for anyone to see. It's a great way to remember your first trip without spending a lot of money. Because you can get carried away when you start looking in those stores. And when you see all the pins that are available, you can get carried away fast that way. I had that issue. So I ended up with a lot of pins going, oh Lord, what am I going to do now? So I do have a lot in my pin trader's bag. And I may, at some point on another trip, take these back and trade some of these if I don't want to keep them. But my major plan for this is to take, all the pins that I've collected since the 2008 trip. We've been twice since then. We're going to go one more time before my son graduates high school at Christmas of 2014. I'm going to collect pins from that trip as well. And I'm going to put all 3 trips together in one box as just a cumulative display. Because I don't have as many individual ones that meant a lot to me as the first one. Because the first one's always the big deal. But I do have a lot in here that I really like, so I'm going to definitely want to display some of these outside of this. I love these little cameo ones, the little Tinkerbell. Another tip I want to give you, if you are going to Disney and think that you want to, and while I talk, let me see if I can find that other pin that I was telling you about with the Wizard of Oz. If you think you're going to be going to Disney and trading pins is something that sounds like it'd be a lot of fun for you, I would suggest going on eBay and just type in Walt Disney World trading pins or Disney World pins, and you will come up with a lot of pins that you will be able to trade that don't cost a lot. These are inexpensive pins. I think we actually got 75 pins, and I can't remember the exact price, but it was under, I'm believing with tax and everything, we came out to about $21, $22 with tax and all, which you can't beat that price considering each one of these pins could have cost up to $12. Sometimes up to $15, depending on, I believe the Tinkerbell one with the little vial was a little more. These pins I haven't traded because they're from California pins, and they were in with a set that I got off of eBay. You can still put those on your lantern as long as they're official Disney pins, and you'll see that on the back of all the pins it will tell you. And all the cast members know how to tell if it's official pin or not, or they're supposed to. You can still trade the California ones at Walt Disney World because people go to both parks all the time. So I have been on websites where people are talking about they live in California and they're making their 5th trip to Walt Disney World. You know, they're bigger Disney fans than I am out there, and they have all sorts of things. So people will trade for the California ones as well. So don't be afraid to put those on your lanyard. Remember I was showing you about collections. Here's a teacup collection of the princesses. There are so many, and they come out with new ones all the time. If you have a Disney Visa card, they have a special pin that you get, and right now I can't remember what that one looked like, but every year they have a special pin that only Disney Visa card members can get. But that gives you the basic idea of a cheap, or it can be cheap as long as you don't get carried away. And once you walk into one of those stores and see the numerous pins, that might be a problem. But this is a good, cheap, frugal way to display some of your memories from your trip. I hope you enjoyed this video and know that in the future, things will get a little less awkward for me as I'm able to be more prepared for this. But again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Jamie. I'm the Vacation Junkie Mama. Be sure to like the video if you like it. Leave comments below. I'm always interested in your tips and suggestions as well. And subscribe to the channel so you know when I'm updating with a new video. And go to my blog, vacationjunkiemama.com. Again, the link will be in the description. And follow my blogs there as well. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.